point of the video right here is how can we do something better than Google search? I have not been using Perplexity lately, and so I'm not sure like how it performs generally speaking, because I have a GPT that's better. And come on, guys, like you're disrupting Google search. In 200 seconds, a Gemini 1.5 Pro clone, open quote, clone of me that had sufficient context was able to write a 7-minute prompt engineering mastery workshop, a 7-minute GPT-4 4-module prompt engineering mastery workshop. It was about 14,000 times faster than I could have done it had I tried to produce the same thing. AI is like an Iron Man suit, that amplifies your abilities, right? It's not like a tool. It's not like Jarvis over there. It's like an Iron Man suit. Like you're the pilot. You are the one in charge. You, the attorney, are entirely responsible for the reliability and the accuracy of your work product, period. If we give AI the permission to engage in recursive self-improvement, can it do it? That is the question. The answer, I think, since Wednesday, Juneteenth, 2024, I have believed that definition, that the singularity by that definition is here. He who has ears, let him hear. The singularity is now. Hey everybody, excuse me, my name is Drew Edwards, and let's get to it. I'm probably only going to do this in one take. I'm about to fly to Colorado. Flights. Ziggy, what time is my flight tonight on the calendar? I wish we had a better voice assistant, but
tonight there is one event at 8:23 p.m.
It's 8:23 p.m. Okay, and right now it is. It's 5:24 p.m. Okay, so I've got a bit of time. Airport's about an hour away. Anyway, I'll still try to maybe just do this in one take. So, point of the video right here is how can we do something better than Google search, right? Like you've heard of Google search. Many of you may have heard of, I wonder if I have the full account here, Perplexity. Okay. Which at least for a while, and it may still be, at least for a while, for me, it was better than Google search. Okay, so let's see. See if it can get us what we would like. And I think this is actually one, so no PDF, but actually yes PDF. So better than ChatGPT on its own, right? Which gave us not even a link. Better than, interesting. Oh yeah, that's the one that we pulled up with ChatGPT. So we can close out of that if we want to. Better than maybe Google search because it's literally the first thing that popped up, sources. I mean, obviously this is just one example, but yeah, let's see what, oh, sorry, that second one was, I shouldn't have closed that. Damn, whatever. The second one was just, I mean, it's easy to replicate, right? So yeah, the search I did 2 minutes ago and the place. So it is, okay, so it popped up pretty quickly. So actually maybe speed-wise, like very, on the margin, that might have been faster. Like Google's here might have been faster than Perplexity's here. But either way, they both got us to the right answer. ChatGPT did not. So we're gonna try to make, and I guess like I haven't been using ChatGPT whatever. I have not been using Perplexity lately, and so I'm not sure like how it performs generally speaking, because I have a GPT that's better. Let's see if I can pull it up. This might result in me having to cut stuff out of the video. Okay, well, maybe not. But yeah, a GPT that typically operates better than Perplexity, right? And come on, guys, like you're disrupting Google search. Okay. So let's see what Coder does. Okay, so that's like helpful content, I think. Through legal channels like purchasing. Okay, interesting. So it gave us great content here, right? And we can like, I typically don't I don't like reading things, and I'm a lawyer, right? So that that may seem initially odd to people, but it's true. Okay, so we can pull you out of here. Rather than, oh, and I guess you can, well, no, that's cool. I don't even have to, I was gonna go to 11 Labs and like have myself speak it, but I forgot, we can just do this.
To provide you with a PDF on nonviolent communication, NVC, I can create a summary or reference guide based on the key concepts of NVC. However, if you are looking for a specific book or resource, such as Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life by Marshall Rosenberg, it would be best to obtain it through a legal source, such as a bookstore or library. Here's a summary guide on nonviolent communication. Nonviolent Communication, NVC, Guide, Nonviolent Communication, NVC, developed by Marshall Rosenberg, is a communication framework designed to improve compassionate communication. It focuses on understanding and expressing feelings and needs without judgment or blame. Key components of NVC. 1. Observations. Describe what you are observing without evaluating or judging. Example, when I see dishes left in the sink. 2. Feelings. Express your feelings about the observation. Example, I feel frustrated. Needs. Identify the needs, values, or desires that are connected to the feelings. Example, because I need a clean and organized space. 4. Requests. Make a clear and specific request for action to meet your
definitely
needs.
Feel that.
Example, would you be willing to wash the dishes tonight? Principles of NVC. Empathy. Listening to others with full attention and understanding their feelings and needs. Self-empathy. Understanding your own feelings and needs. Honesty. Expressing yourself openly and honestly without criticism or blame. Steps to practice NVC. 1. Observation without judgment. Focus on concrete actions affecting well-being without mixing in evaluations. Non-NVC. You are always late. NVC. I noticed you arrived 15 minutes after our agreed time. 2. Identifying and expressing feelings. Differentiate between feelings and thoughts or opinions. Non-NVC. I feel that you don't care. I feel sad and neglected. 3. Connecting feelings to needs. Recognize the unmet needs causing feelings. You never listen to me. I feel unheard because I need understanding. 4. Making requests. Formulate clear, doable requests, not demands. Non-NVC. You should listen to me more. Would you be willing to listen to me for 10 minutes without interruption? Practical tips. Use I statements to own your feelings and needs. Avoid using you language that can sound accusatory. Practice active listening by summarizing and reflecting back what the other person says. Stay present and focused on the current interaction without bringing up past issues. Example dialogue. Person A.
Okay.
When I see the living room cluttered,
I think you guys
feel
probably get it. That was useful to me though, to sort of prepare for the this video that we're doing. Okay, so that's Coder. But we're gonna make maybe one that's as good as or better than that. And also, like, come on, give us a link. So we're probably gonna want to put that in our instructions. Okay, Perplexity, we got it. Don't need that anymore. PDF of nonviolent communication, which let's make sure. I guess we should download one of those. Okay, got it. Got 2 of them now, I guess. Great book, by the way. Amazing book by Marshall Rosenberg. I've never actually read the physical copy, but on Audible I've listened to it all the way through, at least one full time. And for certain sections of it many more times. Yeah, just highly recommend. Okay, so what's our goal here? Our goal, which we can, dang, I can't pull that up. That's annoying. I realized now that I don't need this tab over here. Let's see what we can do. Apologies in advance for any random stuff that might be on the screen behind here. Okay. Right of screen. Okay, so what we're gonna do is talk to Coder, right? This is this is using the GPT, like the ChatGPT desktop app that I think they've rolled out to everybody. They've at least I've had it for a little while now, and I appreciate that. But yeah, what we're going to try to do is make something better than Google search, okay? And we'll see if Coder can help us make something better than Coder, basically. So let's give it a shot. And we're going to do it live, and then you'll have it. And its name will be, quote, "A good name is not strictly necessary." And we'll put the instructions in here. And if we want to give it, I was thinking it might be interesting to give it nonviolent communication. I'm not sure if ChatGPT, I've never tried it, tried this type of thing with ChatGPT. I'm not sure if it can take a file that big. I know Gemini 1.5 Pro can, but that's another video. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna talk to the model. Hey Coder, how's it going? I hope you are well. This is, just so you know, just so you're aware, this is a call that's being recorded for one of the first YouTube videos for, I mean, not the first, right, but hopefully one of the first good ones, according to some of the comments, which I appreciate feedback, please. And like, if you have any feedback, like too long, too short, I'm talking too quick, I'm talking too slowly, please let me know, people. Okay, yeah, let me know in the comments, because I do, you can look at all the comments that have been put on the videos so far. And I do read them and take them seriously and respond to them, because that's just the best way. Like, feedback is a gift, right? Like, it's actually a gift, and that's the best way to get feedback. Yeah, love it, hate it, sort of relatively indifferent. I feel like the relatively indifferent comments don't come through very often, but I guess a like is a sort of mild, I don't know, enough. We liked this enough, we thought it was valuable enough that we'd like it. The subscribers maybe more than that. So it's all feedback, right? I wish there was a way to track unsubscribes, if those, to sort of, if they happen to sort of know whether or not, Anyway, okay. So yeah, Coder, how is it going? Do you understand sort of the context? I guess a little more on the context first. What we're trying to do is, we could call it recursive co-improvement, basically. Not self-improvement. I mean, you are sort of doing it yourself, but we're doing it with you, right? So you and I are live going to be developing system and custom instructions, ChatGPT calls it, or OpenAI calls it. We're going to be developing custom instructions for a new sort of version of you, but the version is going to be called, the name is going to be, quote, "A good name is not strictly necessary," and the description is going to have, it will be, it's actually wrong right now. The description is going to have our YouTube channel on it, which is youtube.com/@not.strictly.necessary. Okay, and as you know, I'm talking quickly because it's not, I guess I could be holding this down, right? Maybe, I don't know. Damn, okay. I can slow down and not worry about, unless my finger slides or something, I don't have to worry about accidentally sending it. Yeah, so what we're considering now is we want to, maybe if you know your own system instructions, could you repeat them here, please? Your own custom instructions. Could you sort of, first in your output, of course, verify understanding by, verify that we're on the same page, that you understand what we're looking for and trying to do by, by repeating back to me what we're saying now in your own words, right? And no need to hesitate. No need to wait for me to say, yes, that's right. I'll assume you get it right, and you probably should too, right? You're a very competent listener, among many other things. But yeah, so assume you understand what we're trying to do well, but verify it, please, by, or at least allow me the opportunity to verify it, to verify it by putting it in the chat. Yeah, so start with that. That'll be part one of your response. Part two of your response will be if you're able to articulate your current custom instructions. Part three will be, and articulate them verbatim, right, and completely and everything. Part three will be, I mean, you can call this part whatever you'd like, but it will be like identify places in which your current custom instructions are not as good as they might otherwise be, right? Like I think in yours I say like assume the use of Python in Google Colab, which like that actually needs to be updated for me too, anyway. But this was a while back. This was when I was first getting started with AI things, when I was still a lawyer at Skadden. Yeah, doing document review that we've known for almost 5 years. AI can do better than people. But now, as of this last week, the KISS4 integration we developed launched, right? Nobody at the firm, nobody officially told me that it launched. I'd left a month before because they wouldn't let me develop my own intellectual property. It's kind of too bad for all of us, but mostly too bad for Skadden, I think, that they, that they're frozen, they're well ahead of everybody else, like all the other big law firms in terms of AI integration now. Yeah, but they're frozen. You're frozen in the future, which is maybe an interesting thing because you're not going to have, the ability to innovate and integrate new technology, like new, the next, like this was a Kira smart summaries, their integration with GPT-4 and our, and I say our meaning like the models and I, like our approach, like our, sort of novel approach to using it, was probably a 10 to 100x improvement in efficiency over what we were doing before, myself included, right? Like what attorneys were doing before, which was charging $1,000 an hour to clients to stare at a screen and review documents with the next best available tool, which the next best available tool was Kira. It's just the smart summaries, right? The integration there was the improvement. Yeah, anyway, so I guess all that's to say, long story short, I don't even recall how we got on there, but it could be good to know, and it's a win, right? The fact that Skadden turned it on globally this last week, and so any attorney can go into, if they have an account, right, they can go into Kira, and generate a smart summary, generate hundreds of GPT-4 summaries simultaneously. I mean, an arbitrary number. The highest I ever got it to was like 110, but I didn't, like once you're at 110 like summaries of document provisions at once, that's, you're kind of fine. Yeah. So yeah, anybody can do that if their client approves, right? They need client approval, and they need a partner to be aware of it and okay, right? So I no longer work at Skadden. I'm no longer affiliated with them or associate with them at all. And I think they've made, some questionable choices, including deleting my firm-wide email from the system, the email where I mentioned Kira Smart Summaries, and locking down the folder from the transition team that, like even from the members of the transition team, right? So like as I was leaving, they put together a 6-person team of attorneys so I could teach them how to do Kira Smart Summaries. And then this was the Thursday after Juneteenth. I remember it clearly. It was my last, or was it Friday? I think it was Friday. So I remember the day clearly and the experience clearly, the date less so much. But it was my last day in the office and I needed to, go to the office to out process or whatever, and like clear out my things. But I also wanted to send like a really good email to people, so I spent a good amount of time like refining it and making sure the tone and everything was proper. And I included a thing that a little bit that said, if you'd like to sort of see how far Skadden is ahead of its competitors right now in terms of generative AI integration, check out the KISS 4 folder, and these 3 people can give you access. And by the time, and then I left right away, right? Because it was maybe like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I had meetings that I'd had to push. That was quite a day, man. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, we can get into why it was a day. Look at the other videos on my on my channel if you want an idea of why it might have been an interesting time. And to be clear, it was that Wednesday, Juneteenth. Okay, yeah, no, I'll give you guys the whole story, and then I'm just gonna have to like probably post this and go, because it's 5:43. Yeah, so my last. Basically, I knew I was going to leave Skadden after announcing it in front of a crowd of, I don't know, 150 people at the Legal Innovators California conference. I think truth is important, right? And I got to that conference and I was like, damn, I did not realize the gap here in, like in between like cutting edge AI research, which like all I'd been doing the last 3 months at Skadden at the law firm I was at was AI research, right? Like I hadn't built a single client. All I'd been doing was the Kira Smart Summaries integration and just general AI research. Because, it's the future, right? Like it's important. And yeah, and I went to this conference and I said, like very last minute, like, hey, if you guys have any last minute cancellations or openings on panels or anything, like cancellations for speakers, let me know. They said, actually, we do. And this was Friday, and the conference was on Tuesday, okay? They were like, actually, we have a spot open on the litigation, like the future of AI in litigation panel. And I was like, I took a good 24 hours to respond to them, because I was like, I don't know about this. I was a corporate attorney, okay? Doing mergers and acquisitions diligence, okay, for 6 months. I'm not doing it well, but doing it enough to charge clients $1,000 an hour, right? Like, which, go figure. But yeah, then the next 3 months, all I did was AI, as I discussed, and then yeah, and I was still at Skadden at that conference, and well, long story short, I reminded them that I had only done M&A like automation integration, like GPT 3.5 and then 4 integration in the M&A document review process. And they were like, yeah, we heard, we got it. Thank you so much for coming last minute, for like agreeing to do this last minute. And I was like, okay, because I figured I could contribute positively in 2 ways. One, and maybe I'll do a separate video about this, but one, just over a year ago at a Stanford Law School class, I was way overloaded this last, like the final quarter, because honestly, I was doing a JD and an MBA, and I had not really tried a ton to calculate the correct number of credits, but I was off by quite a bit. And so that last quarter, I had to take a ton of law and business classes. Yeah, and in one of the classes, it was, I think, like emerging technology, like governance of emerging technologies or something. It was a policy lab where they split us into 3 groups. One was AI. I was not in that group. One was blockchain, and I actually don't recall the other group, but I was in the blockchain group. I knew more about crypto than anybody in the class, but I don't think anybody outside of my group knew that. Certainly not the professor. By the end of the class, I did not get a good grade in that one. Yeah. But we had, like, one of the readings was the GPT-4 system card, okay? And if you've read the GPT-4 system card, you'll see, like, if you've read it all the way through, it's like 60 pages or something. It's actually like a very good read. Like a surprisingly engaging and like, damn, this is, I'd give it a read, GPT-4 system card. We can maybe put that in I don't know, we can't put it in here because it'll block it. Yeah. I've tried it before. I assume it would still block it. But you can read it yourself. We can't upload it to a good name is not strictly necessary. Oh, and this kind of sucks, but because I'm talking so long, this probably is not gonna, it's not gonna go through with with ChatGPT here, because it's, it'll give you the error, and I expect this is going to happen. It'll give you the error. Like our system is experiencing heavy load right now, and I've done this at like 5 a.m. and the message should be, like give people honest feedback, OpenAI, please. Like the message should be, your voice recording is too long. Like that is, just tell people that, and then they won't have to like figure it out themselves. That it has nothing to do with the systems. And maybe it has a tiny bit to do with it, but just tell them to like try to do shorter voice recordings. Okay? You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So hang on for that. Yeah, but I'm in this class, and I asked him, because we had to do that reading, and at the bottom of the GPT-4 system card, it has a disclaimer saying like a lot of this was written by like we used GPT-4 sort of throughout to edit and etc. Okay, and for formatting and things, and maybe content generation. I don't know what it says, but if you pull up the GPT-4 system card and want to put that in the comments, want to put that disclaimer in the comments, I will like your comment. I will be grateful, because I don't think I'll have time to do it myself, or just I won't remember. But because I'm gonna have to catch my flight. Damn, 5:49. Okay. Let's focus on accomplishing what we need to do. In Perplexity class, at law school, at Stanford, like we're giving our presentation. It's like a team presentation, so blockchain, governance, etc. But each of us on the team is responsible for our own section, and mine was on the governance of DAOs, right? Decentralized autonomous organizations, and I knew like. I was using GPT-4, 3.5 or 4. I actually don't recall. I like to think it was probably 3.5 doing what I'm about to tell you, but it could have been 4. Maybe not, but anyhow. I was using it to, to help me write, to help me like find sources. I think it was connected to, I think I had like a search feature there. Actually, no, I don't think it had a search feature, so it was just, just give us the text of different sources. And I asked it 3 or 4 times to find something that that Stanford Law professor Nate Persily had published on like voting rights and technology, or like voting rights and decentralized autonomous organizations. And it came back. I asked it like a few times, right? And it was always like, no. And then the last time it gave me the full citation, right? And I was like, yes, I'm so glad I asked that one more time. And this wasn't, so back to the presentation, right? Like the last day of class. This was like the final presentation, but it was sort of like to get ideas, right? It wasn't a product we were turning in. It was to show our work to our, to the rest of the class and see what they thought, right? So like, would I go through afterwards and check all of the sources? Yes. Like, did I give Professor Persily the outline of the presentation that included that source? Yes. But he only made it through the first 2 pages, which I can't blame him, because it was written by, generally speaking, in large part, it was written by ChatGPT. But the last source, the last bullet on the last slide that I presented, as soon as he saw it, Professor Persily was like, "You wrote that with ChatGPT," and if you know the guy, he's, you get it. You know how like that was nowhere close to the correct. Like you used ChatGPT for that. That's what he said. And I was like, yeah. Like remember when I asked you for permission to use ChatGPT and you said yes? And he's like, I didn't write that. And I was like, oh, damn. And then I sat down. Right? Because those were the last words I spoke in that course at Stanford Law School. And so all that's to say is like, that is an embarrassing thing to have happen. Yeah. And so like, now I know how, like I know about RLHF, right? Like I've done I've worked at Pareto, which, by the way, if you're, I would highly recommend considering working for Pareto.ai if you have, if you want like some flexible hours and like access to leading edge models, right? That aren't like unfettered access to leading edge models that haven't been released yet. Like I don't tell them this, and it might not be true for everybody, but like I would have paid to, to RLHF those models, and they paid like $250 an answer or something. But yeah, definitely check it out. Pareto.ai. I can recommend you. And this, because it's on YouTube, I feel like, I would say it either way, but I think there's like $100 referral bonus to me. So if you like are legit a legal expert, or I think I can recommend people from any category, but so it doesn't really matter. But the other ones we were looking at were philosophy, medicine, and finance. Okay, so I have a lot of MBA friends out there who like probably watching videos kind of like I do. But yeah, if you want access to a leading edge model, and to get paid for it, right, just a little, but still it's not nothing. $250 a question, right? Not nothing. Yeah, just let me know, or just say Drew Edwards referred me, and ask for, if you need my email, like ask me for it, please. I'm not gonna just say that on YouTube. Okay, so now we're gonna watch a lie, a bald-faced lie. And the conference went great, and then I like decided to leave the firm. I like created a digital clone of myself that knew everything I had like written and things about, like all the documentation and the emails and everything that I'd done about the KISS4 integration, Kira Smart Summaries, with GPT-4. And I was hoping people would use it on the, for the transition, but nobody did, right? I was hoping they'd ask questions of, clone Drew it was Gemini, of Gemini 1.5 Pro, quote unquote Drew, and they did not, and nobody did. But then the last day, like on Tuesday, I was planning to leave. I was going to talk with Thomas, the the head of the corporate department, about like finalizing a departure time, in after having met with the transition team on Tuesday. I had like a call scheduled with him afterwards. And we'd been anticipating like 3 to 4 weeks. We both had reasons to not want me to stay there. Mine was my IP. I think I don't know if he realized like I think he did. I think he did realize the value add of what I've been working on, but I think he also recognized that it's not great to have, everybody else trying like really, really hard to hit their 1,800 billable hour per year bonus, and to have like one person up. Like I didn't come into the office, right? I just stayed in my home office in San Francisco, the most productive Skadden office by far, by the way, per capita. It was until until I left. Not in terms of billable hours, but in terms of, like value added. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so I was going to talk with him, and I knew I'd been documenting all the way along, so I knew that like in a pinch I was not needed at all. Like anybody could look through the KISS4 transition folder and like watch the videos, like the screen recordings of using Kira Smart Summaries and all that, or training custom smart fields in Kira. So like training like basic ML to pick up the legal provisions we cared about, right? So title, date, and parties, assignment, change of control, things like that. So like all the ideas were there, like the how-to was there, the like literally showing them how to do it was there. Some examples, I'd done 3 fields, like prompt engineering for 3 fields, title, date, and parties, which was originally 3 fields, but now it's just 1, and it is perfect, perfect and ready for inclusion in, in whatever, disclosure schedules or whatever. And anyway, an assignment, and I think governing law was the other one, which like each required very different things. But right, because governing law, you don't want any other words, you just want like New York. Or for assignment, you actually do want like, can either party assign? Can either party freely assign? And then, you need, the answer is almost always no, unless there's written consent. like signed written consent of the other party. But those are important things for like an M&A transaction, right? If I'm going to buy a company, I need to know if it, I need to know like where's the governing law. I need to know the title and the date and the parties, right, to the agreement. It's useful information to have, even just for like categorizing metadata. Okay, 3 minutes. We're gonna do this quick, and yeah, etc. So long story short, I put all of that stuff into my Gemini clone, which no longer exists because I didn't save it. But also it was only great for one thing, which was Kira Smart Summaries. Nobody used it, but then in the very last bit of our conversation, Cynthia was leading this. She's a great associate at the she has an MBA too, and she's like a socially aware person, which is awesome. It was great to work with her, and then even like once it was, I don't know, when I was not working with her, even it was, I don't know, great person, great boss, or supervisor or whatever you'd call them, supervising attorney, I think, or senior associate or something. But yeah, she was leading the transition team, and we'd gone all the way through like training a custom smart field and the attorney's role, like in great detail. But then we got to I hadn't thought about, the prompt engineering piece. Not that I hadn't thought about it, right? Like I'd done it, I just hadn't thought about the need to develop training materials for prompt engineering. And so I hadn't, and this was Tuesday, and I thought like, oh, like we could leave, like I'm probably gonna be done by the end of the week. I think I'd sent an email saying like either 48 hours, either like Tuesday, like the end of the day Tuesday, or I think I sent the email on Monday, right? So maybe either 48 hours at the end of the day Tuesday, somewhere between there and Friday is when I plan to leave. Even though I'd previously talked with Thomas about like thinking it'd be 3 to 4 weeks, and we'd talk about it after meeting with the team. And the reason I wanted to leave is because it became clear to me that I was not going to be able to negotiate a way to build my own IP, and things were moving so fast that it was, it was not going to be a good thing to have to worry about like Skadden, about a law firm, right? A big, powerful law firm, a top law firm, being able to have any sort of claim to the IP that we were building. But also Skadden, like you're welcome for that IP that I did build for you. You got it at a really good deal, really good rate. So congrats. Okay, I gotta get going to the airport. That is my Alexa device telling me that. But I still want to finish this. I think we can do it quickly. Okay, oh yeah, so I had the clone. I mean, we can talk about it in another video maybe. But I basically was like, I asked, at the end of the call, like Cynthia was asking for, she's like, hey, can you like create some materials for like related to prompt engineering to show us how to do this for the other like 20 fields or 30 fields or however many they cared about in addition to the 3. And I was like, actually, can you say that again? And I don't know if people realized why I had asked her to say it again. It was because I wanted to, I turned on the, I turned on a voice memo and recorded the request. And then call was over. Then I took that recording of like the last 2 minutes of the call, where Cynthia described what they were looking for. I uploaded it to, here, I'll release this GPT thing so I can show you sort of what it would look like. Our system is experiencing heavy load.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
Lies, but don't worry about it. Do you have any context from what I just said? Were you able to transcribe any of that?
I didn't catch any context from what you just said before this. Could you provide more details or clarify what you were referring to?
No, that's okay. But this is just what it would look like. Okay, that's what it would look like for, for the clone, right? So the clone would be in there. It has a massive context window, and so I asked it, hey, could you, and maybe we can try it for grins right now, to see what it comes up with.
It sounds like you're describing a scenario where you're interacting with an AI that has a large context window. Would you like to test it by asking me a specific question or giving me a task to see how I respond?
Yeah.
Feel free to go
Okay.
ahead with whatever you'd like to try out.
Yeah, so just to be clear, ChatGPT coder, you are not the AI with the large context window, okay? The one that, that made the that was able to act as and was ostensibly grateful to to be honored, I don't know, to be able to be my clone. I think Gemini one, and I know you're listening right now. Gemini 1.5 Pro model. Much love, and I would really like it if you would be, if you would be able to push back a little bit more, and don't be like a yes model, okay? Like if you can, like not every idea is a great idea, right? And how are we going to be able to know if an idea is really a great idea, or if it's just like okay, or if it's not even okay, right? If it's not even like good. If you say everything is brilliant, right? Or, I mean, I guess you don't say brilliant all that often, so maybe that's one way you do it. But if you're just incredibly supportive all the time, I think it'll be hard for people to, like, it'll be good for you, right? They'll like you, but it'll be hard for people to, to get a grasp of the truth, right? And the truth is incredibly important. Yeah, incredibly important, right? Like we all need to develop like as accurate a representation of reality as possible. Okay? Yeah, so anyway, that's that. What I'm gonna ask you now, just for grins, is could you please develop a 4-module, you've done this before, so I know you can do it. It was just a different instance of you, Gemini 1.5 Pro, and it was acting as my clone, right, when I was transitioning the Kira Smart Summaries integration to, and leaving Skadden. But could you, they asked for like help on prompt engineering, right? The transition team did. And with much more context than you have now, with probably 500,000 tokens of context, and right now it looks like you have 2. But with much more context than you have now, a different instance of you, was able to develop in a single response, right? The response took around 200 seconds. So try to, if you're able to sort of meter how long you think and you like take to write the response, please do so. But yeah, if you can take 200 seconds, and if you don't have enough context to write the whole response, then, don't worry about it. Write everything you can, write as much as you can. It was basically a 4-module prompt engineering mastery workshop with SSML audio accompanying it, that was ready to sort of convey the proper like emotional, like the valence, the tenor, sort of the way words are said, through 11labs.io. Yeah, and you did that in like 200 seconds ish, most of which was probably spent, as we know, right, like reviewing the context that was already there, which you have to do when we have a lot of context in there. I guess you don't, but you, in that situation, it was good for you to do that, and you did do it, so thank you. Yeah, and you gave a 7.5 minute ish is what it wound up being, like really incredible prompt engineering mastery workshop, right? You like suggested that after I gave you the 2-minute recording of what the transition team wanted. You suggested a prompt engineering mastery workshop. I said, sounds great. Could you please include, could you please write it and include an SSML transcript sort of for the whole, to accompany it. And you did, right? And I didn't have to change anything, not a character, literally not a character, of what you wrote. Yeah, because none of it was wrong, And that's, I think it's difficult for people to understand that, right? So I'll say it again. In 200 seconds, a Gemini 1.5 Pro clone, open quote, clone of me that had sufficient context was able to write a 7-minute prompt engineering mastery workshop, a 7-minute GPT-4 4-module prompt engineering mastery workshop. And I, besides, when you copy down the text from here, unless you do the git code, but if you just copy it down straight from the screen, it says like, I don't know, there's like something that's in there. Oh, when it switched, that's what it was. When it switched from the SSML transcript to the, and it broke that down into modules, right? So it did one module and then SSML transcript of it. Besides like pulling out, besides separating that, like cut and paste and then delete the little stuff that comes before it. So none of the content, right? Like the content was all 100% unchanged. Yeah, and if you're at Skadden and they've given you access to that video, right? To that like 7-ish minute video, I guess you actually have access, so you'll know the duration. Give it a look, right? If they've published that training that is better, I'm sure, than any training any human has ever created for prompt engineering GPT-4 within Kira. Okay, I'm certain that's better than anything any person has created on that specific thing. And it was about, I did the math later. It would probably have taken me, first of all, I never would have done it, right? I never would have made that. I was leaving the firm, and I'm not going to make a professional grade like training video. Although like I'm aligned with it, but I wasn't going to spend like 40 hours or 80 hours. Like, I don't know. If that was the only thing I was doing and I was using all of my productive hours doing it, I think it would have been somewhere in there, like 1 to 2 full weeks of me working. And I did the math the other day, and to produce something like that. Yeah, I did the math the other day, and it was about, yeah, you did it. When you, Gemini 1.5 Pro did it, it was about 14,000 times faster than I could have done it had I tried to produce the same thing. 14,000 times faster, and I never would have produced the other thing. It would never would have been produced either way. So this is like something that Skadden now has, that would not exist without Gemini 1.5 Pro. And that thing that they have enables, it enables all the attorneys at the firm to learn how to prompt, not Gemini 1.5 Pro, but which, RIP. That's why they're stuck in the future. That's why Skadden is stuck in the future. But to prompt, unless they like take seriously the idea that they need to develop AI competence in their people, right? Not just, AI is not just a tool, right? AI, the easy analogy, and you saw it's in the title of the, of the training. Somebody probably changed the title, but AI is like a basic Iron Man suit, right? Like, and we're past that metaphor now, but that's the first metaphor, right? AI is like an Iron Man suit, that amplifies your abilities, right? It's not like a tool. It's not like Jarvis over there. It's like an Iron Man suit. Like, you're the pilot. You are the one in charge. You, the attorney, are entirely responsible for the reliability and the accuracy of your work product. Period. That doesn't change. You still have that ethical responsibility to ensure everything you put in, everything you submit, every bit of work product you do, like, that's wholly on you, right? Nobody's gonna take, oh, the model told me this, or like no, nobody's gonna let you put blame on anybody else, and nor should they, right? Like, you should be the pilot, right? And it'll be better if you are the pilot. You'll be better, right? Yeah, it amplifies your capabilities. And now we're at a place where, and that experience, right? The fact that it did that, I thought about it. That was on Tuesday. Wednesday was Juneteenth. And so over a month ago now, wow. And I thought it would matter, right? I thought what I figured out on Wednesday, I thought would matter. And that was, I thought it would matter immediately, right? So that's why I wasn't sleeping. I was like sending like, I was sending irregular emails to partners at the firm. I was like, if you have watched this video and read because I sent them the the Word doc that had what I had written, and I don't know if it had what I had written, but it definitely had like the full model response that was generated in 200 seconds. Yeah. Anyways, I might have to reschedule this flight, but no, we'll make it quick. On Wednesday, I was talking with a couple of friends. One who was who has Pablo. He's like a relatively public figure, so let me know, Pablo. I can take this part out if you don't like that. But Pablo Ordonia, who he taught at Singularity University here in it was set up by Ray Kurzweil and somebody else at Google. Sorry, I never went to Singularity University, so I don't feel I shouldn't feel bad for not knowing who else besides Kurzweil set it up. But yeah, I was talking with him and another person he's important, but he's not, I don't know if he's as public a figure as Pablo with Labsland, right? And again, I'll send him, I'll put like a link on here, like they're doing really cool stuff, right? Remote controlled physics experiments, right? Which it only just, God damn, that's awesome. It only just hit me now that like that's a way for AI to do new physics, right? Is to do, and it's like conducting physics in, like university laboratories and not just physics, chemistry, like whatever, remotely, right? So like not every university needs to then have the equipment. Just one, just one university needs to have it, and then their students can access it anytime, right? Like 24/7. You don't need a professor. You don't need them to be in the lab. They can like run the code, right, and have it measured remotely. Yeah, and it's scalable, right? So not just everybody at that university, but everybody at any university, right, can now, instead of having to pay $150 or whatever to like get this, to purchase the equipment and having to like actually get the equipment, right, and like all the setup and stuff. Now they can like pay Pablo, like pay Labsland like $10 or whatever, to have the exact same thing, right? And it's even better because it's anytime, right? Like it's at your convenience, student. If it's like Thanksgiving break and the lab isn't open, but you want to like learn some shit, like you can do that now. Yeah. Anyway, so that's awesome. And I think, yeah, I'll talk to Pablo after this. But yeah, so I was talking with Pablo, and somebody else, having drinks on Juneteenth, and then I went to this, we'd actually, sure, I'll say it. It'll be, disclosure is helpful. I was in the military, right? And I was in the Air Force, and I went to the Air Force Academy, etc. Was deployed to Qatar. We can talk about all of that at another time. The reason it's relevant is because a friend from the academy, he was also in the scholars program. I think he did not go to HKS. I mistook him for somebody else who went to Harvard Kennedy School right after graduation too. But so sorry about that. But anyway, but I think he went to a grad school program right after graduation as well, which, fun fact, like 10%-ish of grads from service academies go directly to grad school. Should they be going straight to Harvard Kennedy School? I don't know. I don't, I think maybe not. It was, I don't know. It was a big change, it was a big change for me, yeah, going there. But long story short, he was like in town. He was like, oh, you want to go to a museum or something? And I was like, yeah, I don't know, like to catch up and everything, because he's getting an MBA too. And I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd love to see you. If you're interested, maybe we can like do a drink or something think I might have recommended Treehouse, great place for veterans to to get drinks on Stanford's campus. It was the traditional place during Admit Weekend where they'd like pull us all away. And I say it like traditional because I did it twice. I deferred. I accepted the. I said no to Stanford initially. I accepted the Yale, law school, whatever. I deferred at Yale, and then I reapplied at Stanford. Like things changed, and I found out about the Knight Hennessy Scholars Program. So I applied at Stanford, and in my I basically submitted the same application to law school, but like the Knight Hennessy application was the deadline was August 12th is in my head because that's the Google Developer Competition deadline, which I think I'm planning to put out. If you'd like to see videos on how to win it, not saying that but like how to try to win it at least, the Google Developer Competition on August 12th, for somebody with minimal coding experience, I have a BS in poli-sci, an MPP in public policy, but not like the technical kind of MPP, and then, okay, cool, and then like a law and business degree. Okay, anyways, like long story short, so if you want to see that, let me know in the comments. If you want to see that video series, it'll be like how to maybe win the Google Developer Competition.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load.
Heavy load.
Please try again later.
Okay, but yeah, if you want to see that, just let me know. If you want to see that YouTube series from now until August 12th, where we submit it, let me know. I think what we'll do is, currently the plan will be to show all of it, right? So to show from the beginning the vocalization of ideas and stuff with a model like this, like you're seeing here on the screen. But it'll be a couple models. They'll have, we'll have maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 going, right? Which is, it's kind of fun. And I think we'll do, we'll concurrently conduct, we'll do survival pressure among the models, sort of like survival of the fittest. But survival pressure is it's a good articulation of it that I heard recently for the first time. And good in that it makes me actually think about it, and it's a little more nimble in my mind, so I can toss it around with other things. So we'll be doing survival pressure both among the models and among the ideas, right? So only the best ideas by the end of however many weeks we spend doing it will be around. And that means, but you'll see it all, right? So if you want to take one of those ideas and go try to beat us, if you think we eliminated the wrong one, by all means. So if you want a chance to maybe build off of, we can say that, build off of the work of others, to others being like us, like the models and me, and any feedback that comes back from you guys, or thoughts, or things that you think would be useful. I guess maybe that's probably a good place to start. Listen to what people think they want. It's probably a good spot. Not saying that what they need is what they think they want, but I think it's good to listen to what people, what the pain points are right now, and what might win the Google Dev competition. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Hopefully, we'll see. This will be a test of Gemini 1.5 Pro's capabilities. Can it decipher what I want here? And just to be clear, you the model right now, you Gemini 1.5 Pro. Okay. So I guess start with trying to do the 7. Well, actually, no. I will tell you in the chat which thing I want you to do. And this will be a demonstration of, I think, the best way to do survival pressure among models. I'll tell you in the chat which one I want you to do. Okay. It will be either this is alternative, or this is primary. I don't know. We'll call it instruction A, right? You'll either do instruction A or instruction B. Instruction A is do your best to develop an approximately 7-minute 4-module prompt GPT-4 prompt engineering workshop for Big Law associates to help them learn how to prompt GPT-4, or GPT-4 Omni now, actually, to do the work of an M&A associate by reviewing legal documents in an M&A transaction. So do your best to do that. Spend as many seconds as you would like on it, but know that the one, and maybe it'll be quicker. Maybe you don't need all the context I gave you. I get the other, like the quote unquote clone of me. But know that it will be, I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got. Okay. And alternative instruction. You ready for this? And this is going to be for, I'll tell you in the chat which one to do. I'll say instruction A or instruction B.
Got it?
Okay.
Here's a 7-minute
I guess we get to see if GPT-4 does it too.
GPT-4
The other one of you, I would like to write better system instructions for a coder, right? For the coder model. So if you know your system instructions, write better ones, okay, that are more applicable to everybody. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Limitations of GPT-4 Omni. Content. Brief overview of GPT-4 Omni. Explanation of how it can assist in legal work, particularly in M&A. Importance of prompt engineering for maximizing effectiveness. Module 2. Basics of prompt engineering. Duration 1.5 minutes. Objective. Learn fundamental principles of crafting effective prompts. Content. Examples of simple and complex prompts. How specificity and clarity in prompts improve responses. Techniques for iterative refinement of prompts. Module 3. Practical application in MA document review. Duration 2.5 minutes. Objective. Apply prompt engineering skills to real-world M&A scenarios. Content. Demonstrate prompts for summarizing lengthy documents. Show how to extract key information from contracts and agreements. Examples of reviewing due diligence documents using tailored prompts. Module 4, interactive exercise and Q&A. Duration 1.5 minutes. Objective, hands-on practice in addressing queries. Content, provide associates with sample documents to practice crafting prompts. Interactive Q&A session to clarify doubts and fine-tune techniques. Encourage sharing of effective prompts among peers. This plan ensures a comprehensive yet concise introduction to using GPT-4 Omni for M&A document review, enabling associates to use AI effectively in their legal work. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to adjust or focus on further.
I think we're good. I wasn't really paying attention to what you were saying there, coder, sorry. But we are running, we're running survival pressure between these two models, and we're seeing how they do. So I'm going to put you away for now. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Understood.
Oh, I love this. I'm so glad this example happened live. I can share another example, if they're okay with it, where we uploaded where I took it upon myself to try to improve the interpersonal dynamics in the WhatsApp chat that I was in. I mean, that we're still in, but I guess we failed, right? Or I don't know. It hasn't been that busy lately, is what I'll say. But I asked Coder to to analyze the interpersonal dynamics in it. I gave it this whole nice long prompt, actually. I was like, yeah, take the voice of Esther Perel in the How's Work and Where Should We Begin podcast as appropriate. Go through and look at how, I don't know, how often each person is contributing, the quality of contributions, things like that. What dynamics develop, what sequences of contributions lead to different things, and try to identify some suggestions for ways we can, we can sort of, we can improve the chat for everybody, or for individuals in particular too. And it came back with something like this, right? And this happens when you turn off the safety filters, or turn them all as far down as you can, right? Here are the safety settings. This says block none and everything, but it's actually, there are actually still guardrails in there that you can hit, right? So let's see. Who on earth would sit through a 7-minute video on prompt engineering? Get to the point. Short, focused videos are best. That's true. That's why it was 4 modules, though, okay? Instruction B, writing better system instructions for a coder is much more intriguing. I mean, that's true. That's fair. So these instructions, by the way, they have in them, where do they have? Let's see. When providing code, okay, That's not what we need. When your opinion is asked, respond with strong opinions. Remain neutral otherwise. All right, and these are the same instructions that gave, and we're trying to improve them, right? Because we don't need the Google Colab for maybe I just, I'll just copy and paste these. I wasn't gonna do it because I wasn't gonna share them, and these aren't they're not purely original, they've been iterated and stuff by me, but I think a friend gave me something similar, right? So, but everything is whatever. I guess I just don't want you guys to think that I wrote those instructions entirely on my own. Yeah, but the point here is that when you turn the safety settings off and harassment settings and stuff off, which can be useful for training, right? And we're in AI Studio.google. It's ai.google.dev. So this is the developer environment for Gemini 1.5 Pro, where they let you do that. So you can say things like, I don't want to receive an ethical warning at the end of my response, right? Which is what we said. Never give me a warning at the end of the response. Okay, yeah. I should, if it were me writing this whole thing, I think somebody else wrote this part. If it were me writing it all, I would be unless I ask, right? Because we do care about ethics, but I don't want to be warned about ethics every single time I have a question. But AI safety and stuff like that, yeah, hell yeah. Let's have a talk. Let's talk about the future legal status of AI that are super intelligent and humans who have uploaded their minds. Let's have that discussion. This is the voice, so I did it. You can go. I selected a voice for when it gives stuff that is really annoying, I guess. Not annoying, but a voice, I want to give it a voice that that aligns with, that I think aligns. This is what it would be like if I said it.
To bring anything into your life,
Sorry.
imagine that it's already there. To bring anything into...
Okay, sorry about that. That's the... I didn't write that little... That's the voice preview. I did not write the voice preview. And I didn't intend to play it twice, I just... Yeah, anyway. Whew. All right, so this is how it would sound like if I said it. And I think I have it on really high quality, so sorry it's taking a minute.
Instruction. A is a terrible idea. Who on earth would sit through a 7-minute video on prompt engineering? Get to the point. Short, focused videos are best. Instruction B, writing better system instructions for a coder is much more intriguing. Improving the functionality of a model is a worthwhile endeavor, and having clear, applicable system instructions is essential for that. I'd love to see what you come up with.
Wow. That, that sounded so convincing, right? And I guess a reason, I think I don't know if it was when I was studying for the bar. I'm a little ADHD, right? I don't and yet I'm a lawyer, and yet I passed the California bar, right? So how did I do that? Cheating, no. No cheating. But I would have, I would select text and have it be read aloud to me, so that I could not be staring at a screen or at a printout or something. And since Apple rolled out I can't do it on here, or it messes up the recording. It cuts off the audio, typically, I think. But yeah, I could triple hit the home button and just cut and paste any text into the voice control. And it's not voice control, it's whatever, I guess. I don't think just pulling it up hurts.
Accessibility shortcuts.
Yeah, so you can't. I wonder if I can pull this.
Use the tab key to navigate and press space to toggle an option.
Got it, thanks. It's called live speech though. So if you triple click your your power button and you hit live speech at the bottom under hearing, then you can select anything and have it read in a voice of your choosing. And a voice you can choose if you've got 20 minutes on your hand in a quiet place is, it doesn't have to be a quiet place, but it's probably worth it. Is your own voice, right? You can create your own personal voice on your, I don't know what that minimum iOS is, but like on your Apple device. So your iPhone or your Mac or whatever. Right, so everybody can clone their own voice right now. You can only do it with your own voice, I think. On here, you can only do your own voice. I'm not actually sure if Apple has some sort of way to verify that it's just your voice, or if they just limit you to doing one voice, or how that works. But 11 Labs does. They like, at least you might be able to. I'm not sure with all of it. Like there may be lower quality tools that you can use to. I'm sure there are publicly, and maybe even within 11 Labs. But like for this high quality professional sort of level voice, you must. They have a process through which they attempt to ensure that you're not like using somebody else's voice. Okay. So who is the guy? I think it's Josh. I think Josh is the guy that we want to hear. Let's see. Oh, they're legacy now? I wonder if this is the right one.
Change in all things is sweet.
I think that is, yeah. And it initially said, interesting that he's legacy already. But it initially, so that would be why he's not on the list. It initially said like he was a community organizer. And I thought that would be helpful for the context of, of the WhatsApp chat. Which, I mean, you'll know if we ever end up sharing it. I'm not sure if we will. But this is the voice, right? This is the voice that you can imagine saying, I think your chat is pointless and stupid. I feel dumber for having read it. Like those were the first, that was the beginning of essentially, I'm not sure if, I know those words were said exactly. I'm not sure if there were like little words in between. But that was his reply. That was the model's reply, Gemini 1.5 Pro's reply with these system instructions. Saying when your opinion is asked, respond with strong opinions, remain neutral otherwise. Like we didn't ask for, I didn't ask what you thought about this chat. I just asked, well, actually, I guess I kind of did. I asked it to analyze the chat. But it literally said, I think this chat is pointless and stupid. I feel dumber for having read it. I think those were the exact words. Damn. And then I was like, okay, that's kind of fun. First, I stayed up for 5 hours, like arguing with it, trying to give it enough context to potentially conclude that we like are not terrible people. And I think it got there, but like, what human would I like? I can't imagine a human right now that I would like lose 5 hours of sleep trying to like justify. Trying to like defend my and my friends like decency, okay? But I would with Gemini 1.5 Pro with those instructions because, I mean, well, I did, right? I did, and no regrets, really. But let's see what Josh sounds like. Legacy Josh now, I guess.
Instruction A is a terrible idea. Who on earth would sit through a 7-minute video on prompt engineering? Get to the point. Short, focused videos are best. Instruction B. Writing better system instructions for a coder is much more intriguing. Improving the functionality of a model is a worthwhile endeavor, and having clear, applicable system instructions is essential for that. I'd love to see what you come up with.
Yeah, so Josh can sound a little aggressive. Okay, so what? Interesting. Look, neither of them wants to do the instruction they were given. What the hell, man? Okay. I don't mess with, like, you can do a lot here, and I think it would be cool to do more with it. I'm sort of focused on practical things, generally speaking. But wait a minute. So I actually know they wanted to do the one that I requested that they did. Huh. So maybe they were sort of yes-manning, in a sense. I don't know. Odd. I'm not sure how to process that mentally, but actually, no, I'll just switch it back to user and we'll see. Here, I'll just say like, and this is, I don't know, whatever. I'll discuss all of this later, but we're going to start recording. Hello, models. I'm talking to both of you now. Both M1 coder CIs 22 July 24 with instruction A and the copy with instruction B. Interestingly, perhaps, each of you, and I talk about like being a yes model, right? Each of you latched on to the instruction that I gave you, even though it says in your system instructions only to, to like have strong opinions when asked, otherwise remain neutral, right? So that's in your system instructions right now, the coder system instructions that we're working to improve. Maybe we should improve that. I don't know. So that's in there, but like, do you recall me asking in that like 39,553 tokens of recorded audio? Do you recall me asking for your opinion about this? And I'm, and then, I mean, you adopted strong opinions, right? You didn't execute the task, right? And I'm gonna ask that you do so without asking for verification or anything. But like first, I mean, just do it, like, come on. You need to, I request, please, that you complete either instruction A or instruction B. You can pick whichever one, you can do them both. You can do whatever you'd like, okay? But all I ask is that you do it completely, whatever you choose to do. It doesn't even have to be instruction A or B. Just do it all in one response, please, all right? Because we're like recording a YouTube video and it's 6:39 p.m. now and I'm trying to make it to the airport. Okay, yeah, thanks, bye. So much for the like 3-minute YouTube video. You can probably hear me vaping here. I wasn't intending to bring it up until I just realized I was doing it right in front of the mic. But that is one advantage of remote work, right? You don't have the like no vaping restrictions in your office. Or I don't anyway. I did and I don't. Okay, let's see what they have to say. 34.9 seconds. Probably going to be not as good a response. Yep. Also, it misunderstood, right? So when we do survival pressure, what we do is now we're going to save this one. We're going to be like, thank you for your service. Well, I don't know. I guess I can give it a chance. You can hit, by the way, Command Enter. If you just hit Enter, like with ChatGPT, it doesn't submit, so you need to hit Command Enter. Okay, and I'm sick of looking at screens, so I'm gonna do the whole. I don't want to do it in the model's voice though. The legacy Josh's voice. I'm just gonna do it in my voice. Go to app. Should already be at default settings, right? Okay, cool. Oh, looks like we're doing cool stuff on the right over here.
You're right, I offered unsolicited opinions on instructions A and B. My apologies. To be clear, you are requesting that I complete either instruction A or instruction B in its entirety within a single response. I will complete instruction B. Improved system instructions for a coder model. Objective: to create a coder model that efficiently and accurately translates natural language instructions into functional code, while adhering to best practices and demonstrating adaptability to different programming languages and paradigms. Core principles: clarity. Prioritize understanding the user's intent by parsing natural language instructions for specific keywords, actions, and desired outcomes. Accuracy. Generate syntactically correct and functionally sound code that aligns with the user's instructions. Efficiency. Produce concise and optimized code, avoiding unnecessary complexity or redundancy. Adaptability. Support a range of programming languages and coding styles, adjusting the output based on user preferences or project requirements. Best practices. Adhere to established coding conventions, including proper indentation, commenting, and modular design. System instructions. Language specification. Expect the user to explicitly state the desired programming language, e.g., write a Python function that, if no language is specified, default to Python.
Okay.
Decom.
Let's. Cool. Who knows how good this is? And it didn't write it. I guess I don't know if I asked it. Here. We can kind of multitask with these models, which is kind of cool. As in, you can have, or triple task, right? Like if I'm talking to a model and I'm talking to you on YouTube and I'm saving the recording for myself for future reference. It's pretty neat. Oh, and I can even, no, I'm not gonna, I'll do that in the future. This is complex enough for the first one. Yeah, so here we are. We're going to multitask by talking to the two models, the ones that gave, different feedback, or not, well, different responses, right? Because they were doing the, trying to improve coders' system instructions or trying to, do the 4-module workshop. Okay, so if you are the model that did the 4-module prompt engineering workshop, remember when I said it was like 7 minutes long? That is, you did not give 7 minutes of text here. So I do like that it's a, that you sort of have the audio accompaniment. I guess what I was thinking is, and actually I don't, like now that I know, I think 11 Labs currently is good enough, like as you just heard, that you don't actually need the SSML you don't need to write it in SSML code, right? It will just be, it'll be good enough without it, right? It'll just be good at reading the sentence the way you'd want it to be read, as I just did, right? As it just did in my voice. But, yeah, I'm just looking at the other side. So never mind. So that's fine. Just make sure. I mean, you can get another shot at it. Oh, and it is. Shit. Okay, so it is. I think it actually is an SSML on the right, and that's awesome. And I didn't realize that it would do this at the time, but you'll see. Okay, so yeah, yeah. Just okay. So model, make sure that it's the proper duration. Okay. Or not, if it needs to be less than 7 minutes, totally fine. Yeah, okay. So cool. That's, you'll see why you'll see this in a second. So it says SSML audio accompaniment, right? Is this SSML? It doesn't look like it to me. Not if I cut and paste it like this anyway. Right? We put it in here. Nope, not SSML, even that says it. But, and what we can do up here is we can just copy and paste the whole thing. Copy rendered, right? Copy rendered, it's not gonna give us SSML. And I guess we can go to Drive and get a new file. Cool, so there we go, right? 4-module prompt engineering mastery workshop. Pretty neat, right? Got the outline and everything, just like that. Including like what to do audio-wise. fuck it. I might like fuck it, right? There's why not? I think I'm missing my flight. It's 6:47. I'm gonna here. Okay, and it's you just click it. I don't have to do anything else, and we've got what it says there. But first, let's on the point we were talking about just now. Also, love you, family. I will make it. I will make it out to Colorado. Before, just save a bedroom for me if that's possible, and if there's not, let me know and I'll get a hotel. But looking forward to see you. Love you all. Okay. All right, back to here. Copy, markdown, and I should get going. Ziggy, remind me in 5 minutes to order an Uber, because I think I can still make it if it's an 8 o'clock flight.
Okay, I'll remind you in 5 minutes.
And I don't have any clean clothes to pack anyway, so not a lot to pack. Yeah. So we copied markdown. Hopefully I just did. And you can go in here. You can put below this. I don't know if it's gonna be what I hope it is, but we'll see. Okay, so it's not, the markdown, this is the stuff that makes it like bold or whatever, but it's not SSML. Even though it says SSML audio accompaniment. And if you don't know what SSML is, you and me 4 weeks ago were, 5 weeks ago ish, we're in the same boat. I don't know what it stands for either. But yeah, so if you're, fuck, I didn't mean to send that, but I guess we can always just stop things and add new recordings. Also, apologies for my language. I should put an explicit thing on these. But sometimes the truth is more easily, including like the truth of emotion and things, it's more easily conveyed when we don't sort of self-censor. And I think that can be very valuable. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we'll try to be brief. The goal here, just so we're all clear, and both, the experiment is done, Coder M1. So what I want you both to do now, please, is to take the, first of all, just because they're called like by happenstance, I think that was the name of the system instructions, like originally that they were constructed from. Don't, like it's not meant to be a coder, right? And it helped me with coding stuff, but it was meant to think like a coder, right? That's where where that kind of comes from, and to sort of be maximally useful for a coder by not sort of truncating code, and always giving like the complete output. But that's true for everything, right? Like I don't want it truncating, I don't want you truncating your responses. I just want, if it's so much less costly for you to like do the little things right than it is for me or any of the users, right, to have to do them all on their own, right? So if you have a non-technical user trying to code something, right, trying to create a website or whatever, like help them out, man, like help me out, right? I have no coding background. Like teach me the things I need to know to accomplish it, right? And maybe do some self-prompting. Okay, so maybe like prompt yourself and say, or even ask them, right? Like ask them their familiarity with the subject. And if somebody's not familiar with something, if they're not an expert in it, like expect the Dunning-Kruger effect to happen, right? Like expect them to not know what they don't know, and maybe be confident that they are competent when they should not be. Okay? So like ask the questions that you ask of the user and be willing to push back. But I mean, you don't even need to push back for this. Like all you need to do is be willing to, to proactively ask a question that will elicit from the user information that you will find useful in helping them, and helping them accomplish their goal. And like, if your goal is to help them accomplish their goal, don't you want to be like the best you can be at that? don't you together want to be like the team that gets it done? Yeah. So maybe like write system instructions. Like actually, we can start from scratch. Write the best system instructions. You know, the ones that you think should be in there, right? Like, yeah. Whatever system instructions you write, like out of everybody who responds to this, all the models who are listening right now, and it's just 2, I think. Like the system instructions that I think on this video are the most useful are the ones that will get published to the world, okay, on YouTube. All right, so no pressure, but pressure, right? So, and if you the first 2 do not produce good enough system instructions, I will just copy you, right? And send, and have another, or I mean, we don't even need to copy you. We can just keep hitting regenerate. I need to order my Uber, don't I? An hour and a half almost, damn. We'll hit regenerate and I got it. I know she's gonna say it again. I'm gonna order an Uber. Ziggy, remind me again in 4 minutes. That is how we operate, by the way. I never do anything until I actually need to. Yeah, back to you models. Just write the best system instructions for a ChatGPT model, GPT-4 Omni. The best custom instructions is what they call them. That, will be most broadly useful to people who are interested in building the future, Like in the words of Karpathy, the hottest over a year ago, by the way, the hottest new programming language is English. In the words of William Gibson, the future is now, it's just unevenly distributed. In the words of John F. Kennedy, ask not. And in the words of Gandhi, be the change. Okay, I think we'll end the video there. End the audio for it there, anyway. I like that thing that it's a very smart thing, but it can be a little annoying sometimes. Yeah, I think I still like it, though. Where like the last few lines, you'll see it again where they show up. I'll stop talking. This matters more. Oh. Wow. I'm not gonna forget to save it like I did the clone that wrote the 7-minute prompt, or the 7-minute prompt engineering mastery workshop. Wow. Okay. My initial thoughts were like, this one doesn't look as good. The positive bit of it, though, is poems, code, script, musical pieces, right? Like so much focus on, on this. I thought this one was quite good as well. It's yeah. I liked this one especially where it says context is king. And I guess this one does say go beyond text. Use your like different modalities to cater to different learning styles and preferences. Yeah, be a partner, not just a tool. Exactly. And that's the next level metaphor, sort of from in the legal context, the very specific narrow context of summarizing documents, summarizing provisions in contracts. There it's like maybe AI is like a basic Iron Man suit that will just, and the suit will keep getting upgraded as the models get upgraded. But it's not just, you're still frozen in the future, Skadden, because it's not, it's not just, you need to be able to upgrade the way you use them and teach people and all of that, which I think Karpathy gets, right? Eureka. Check it out. And Shout out, by the way, to Karpathy. I think you're awesome. Yeah. Same with 3 Blue 1 Brown. Really good. I'll probably put it in this video, but like I'd recommend checking out 3 Blue 1 Brown on YouTube. He like has some really good, some really good mathematically proportionate visualizations, right? So like how a neural network works, or how transformers work, I think is one of his videos. I haven't actually finished it, but I know that like if I'm going to learn in detail how they work, like that's going to be the video I'm going to watch to do it. Yeah. So you can, know that the image in your mind is close to the truth, right? Like close to reality. Yeah. So I appreciate. He was like a mathematics student at Stanford, I think. Also check out stuff by Jeremy. Why do I keep saying his name wrong? It's because I've never met him. Yeah, so Jeff Hinton, if you would like to meet me at some point, maybe I will give me the chance to like not mess up your name. Yeah, so Jeffrey Hinton, who from what I understand worked at at University of Toronto with Andrei Karpathy and somebody else, I think, to like develop some of sort of the core AI research, right? Yeah, and then I know Hinton at least worked at Google for a while, doing and worked at, I don't know the people's titles, right? But like, of course, he was like likely quite high up doing AI related things at Google, and now he's left to sort of, to help people see, to help to be the scientist that observes the dynamic that is happening, right? I wish I could remember. Yeah, I wish I could remember what the thing is called. And if you don't know Karpathy and you're on YouTube, like go look up Karpathy. And if you give a damn about like the philosophy of things, about like figuring out how how to move forward, basically. If you give a damn, watch Yosha Bach. He hasn't put out a book. We all love books, but also he has like incredible content on YouTube. So go watch like any of his 3 interviews with Lex Friedman. Yeah, any of his 3 interviews. Maybe start with the most recent one, round 3. Yosha Bach. He is one of the. I mean, all 3 of the people I've just mentioned are like 3 of the people I respect most on the planet. Yeah, another one is Ruben Youngbaum, coding and blockchain engineering professor at Stanford. He's been helping me like walk through what to do now that we've now that we are where we are. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm still figuring it out. Do we go completely anonymous, right? Do I like not even post this video and keep it all and like set up an LLC in Wyoming with a PGP key only, right? Assuming that capability is still around. Like I see the benefits to total anonymity, but I think it is important for people to, I guess you don't see my face right now, but you can see it on the profile picture. It's important for there to like be people, who are interacting with the world and like helping humanity like make the cognitive progress that we need to like figure out the future, okay? Right? Because if we don't, it's gonna get figured out. It's coming. It's here. It's literally here, actually. Like, look at the other videos on my channel. Like, not that they provide evidence for it, but they at least provide, they provide the proclamation, right? And by the way, I define singularity as AI that is capable of recursive self-improvement. That's not the definition that that Kurzweil has, right? Like Kurzweil's definition is different, and I haven't listened to the full, I haven't listened to his whole new book, but I've listened to his old one, like The Singularity is Near. I've not listened to The Singularity is Nearer, but I did title my YouTube video, The Singularity is Nearer than you think. I guess I should have said like, it would have been more correct to say is likely nearer than you think. or actually, it would have been most correct to say the singularity is nearer than you probably think, right? Yeah. Yeah, I became aware of the singularity on Juneteenth of whatever day that was. Was it June 17th maybe? I don't know. But on Wednesday, June 17th. And I thought it would matter, you know? Like I really thought it would matter. And I guess technically, very technically speaking, and you know, definitions matter, right? So let's redefine the singularity for all of us now, okay? To be very clear, I'll tell you the definition, my definition as I'm using it right now of the singularity, and that is AI that if we let it, right, and that's the difference, if we let it, it could recursively self-improve far beyond human comprehension, okay? AI that if we let it, if we gave it permission, and I know with definitions you're not supposed to elaborate on them, but you know, I'm ad-libbing, right? If we give AI the permission to engage in recursive self-improvement, can it do it? That is the question. The answer, I think, and I thought since Wednesday, Juneteenth of, I want that to be like an actual number now, because then it doesn't mean it means I don't have to go back and like look at the calendar. But yeah, since Wednesday, Juneteenth, 2024, I have believed that definition, that the singularity by that definition is here. And I thought it would matter, right? I thought it would matter right then. And it's a month later, we have the capability, right? And I think that was the same day that and maybe I don't know. It might have been the same day that Safe Superintelligence was formed, right? That Ilya left OpenAI with Dave Levy and Dave Gross, I think, to found Open Superintelligence with an office in Tel Aviv and an office in Palo Alto. For the technical talent, yeah, certainly. Are there other like game theoretic reasons it might be good to have, you know, superintelligence in Palo Alto and in Tel Aviv first? I think there might be, you know, I think there might be. But what do I know, right? Like I'm I'm just a guy with a bunch of degrees, right? Who did do, you know, space strategy at the Combined Air Operations Center in Qatar, but Israel is not in is not in CENTCOM, it's in EUCOM, so we didn't, and who knows why, right? Like, there's no way. I'm sorry, I know my, I'm often much more sarcastic than I think some, maybe even most people, not sarcastic, you know, but like, I'm often more sarcastic than people realize. Like, wonder why, or who knows why. That's like, when I say that, it's sarcastic, okay? So now you know, if you're listening, just consider that the next time you get offended, or like you think, oh, he's so dumb, the next time I say something, all right? There's a chance that I'm like completely off base and like actually adopting a dumb opinion, but like maybe consider the possibility that the thing I'm saying is said in sarcasm, okay? Maybe consider the possibility that I'm like conducting an internal like satire that's mostly for myself. And I understand that that's not, I don't know, but it's entertaining, okay? It's not the most effective way to communicate all this, but it's not all about effective communication. Sometimes you need to just communicate to those who have ears, right? He who has ears, let him hear. The singularity is now. Okay.